I mean, first of all, one thing I learned about Google X, and I hope everyone learns this, is uh, you can be more ambitious, you can set bigger goals, and that will attract amazing people, and everything is achievable. Like just seeing these balloons launched, like with my own eyes, I just saw people who worked on it. They were just working on software before. They learned things on the fly. Like I asked most people, like 99% of the team did not have experience with balloons before. They had completely different experience, but they just were loved the mission. They were like smart, smart people, great culture, and they managed to accomplish huge, huge things. Now Loon is finally commercial in Kenya, which is amazing. Um,
Nice.
so I think that I learned that. I learned that a lot of it is really psychological, right? You just decide to do bigger things if it really matters, right? And
To explain that, like, and to unpack it, so basically when you were working, for example, on Project Loon, which you can talk about, like, you're working with the engineers who made the balloon and the people who are thinking about the navigation and the countries and thinking about which countries need internet. So could you say just like very briefly, like kind of the network of people that you had to work with to make something like that happen, and how you were the point person kind of connecting all of these different pieces to drive something forward?
yeah, so I think what's a couple of things. So one, I want to mention about the diversity. I think Loon is a great example of bringing people with diverse backgrounds, which is, I think, what is open-ended about, because it brought people from fashion. There was a girl, her name is Pam. She was from fashion industry with experience in like um, in materials, and she became the lead, I think the lead for a lot of the operations of like making the balloons, which is, again, she never imagined she will work on it.
Mm-hmm.
We had people from military. There were people, they were recovering balloons. There were people like who were pilots who were working with like air traffic control. Um, there was, sculptors at X, and just the range of people was so wide. It was amazing, and I think people were like feeding off each other's like ideas and energy, like that. And in terms of people I worked with, I think what was amazing is before Loon, I worked with a lot of people in emerging markets. I met people like you, um, who has like a lot of knowledge and passion about countries like Pakistan, and we also meeting people from like South Africa and Indonesia and Brazil and Peru and things like that. That was really amazing before Loon, and I think Loon for me was a lot about meeting people with diverse backgrounds like art, science, engineering, politics, military, etc.
Super interesting. And so it sounds like also you were able to build a sense of confidence in that process, because I know you said, oh, there's a massive safety net, but like it's a really big deal to start your own project with the world's smartest engineers and computer scientists and say, I want to lead something. So it's amazing that you could do that, start it, kick it off, and then say, I realize how incredible these resources are, but actually I want to take all this learning and the sense of self. Like you knew you could do it. Of course you had a safety net, but like that's not an easy thing to start and to kick off. And so what was the impetus for saying, okay, this is what I want to do next, and I'm going to go and do it?
I realized like I'm not sure if I'm spending my time well doing this. I'm sure there are people who are much more passionate about it and much more well suited. And so I kind of decided to kind of start to move away from it, and I I decided to go back to things I was always passionate about, because I have so many interests. They keep changing, but I realized something I was always passionate about is teaching. Like that was my first dream as a kid, to become a math teacher, and then I wanted to teach when I was in college. I decided to go back and teach in my university. And education is always something I thought always like the biggest thing that can impact the person. Okay, that's my view at least, and that's why I decided to go back and to kind of more education related theme, and decided to try out my own startup. Is something I've been thinking about for a long time.
And so when did you start? And can you tell us a bit about Our Talent and what you guys do?
Okay, sure. So I started legally a year ago. realistically, I started like 1.5 years ago, started playing around with different ideas and different approaches. I had like, so basically I analyzed my strengths, my passions and what the world needs, where the market is, and decided to focus to work on two ideas. And one of them was out talent, and that one is just something I realized I just have such a unique position to do that others are not doing. What out talent is I think, yeah. So we find amazing engineers in emerging markets. Some of them, they know they're great. Some of them, they are like me. They are like not sure if they can do big things. So we basically, it's like a mentorship program where we work with them for 3 months, and we help them understand what the processes are like, what the market is like, and help them prepare. And a lot of it is building a community and building a great culture where people help each other, and they motivate each other, they learn from each other within that group. And we also have this unique new business model where people pay only if they get a job in a desired company, which is very hard to achieve for us, but it forces us to provide an amazing product. So people basically, when they join our talent, they write a list of like dream companies, right? I don't know, usually like Google, Facebook, Amazon, etc., etc. And we try to make sure they get there. Our goal is we help them infinitely now. Like now they are part of a community, and we really aim for this to become a community. And now that they are part of a community,